You're listening to Mental Health Topics with Rob.
Alright you guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I've done a real video, but I'm really excited to be back. I know it's not going to be the same kind of audio necessarily, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. It's a bit of a serious topic today, not really happy or educational per se. It's more of a rant. Being that yesterday was Father's Day, obviously for most of the world, I would be willing to say, most of the world's probably pretty happy with the way things are and having a great family and, you know, fathers and stuff. And for the rest of us who are missing our fathers, it's really a horrible holiday. And the biggest problem I have personally is the impact of social media on a day like yesterday. And it really has more to do with seeing everyone else having something that you don't. And I don't mean to say all this as if I'm hating the world and other people and no one deserves to be happy, nothing like that. But it really has more to do with I don't know, I would say it has more to do with just about the feeling left out. You know, I guess you could almost relate it to being like a kid and not having any presents under the Christmas tree, and you go over your friend's house or you see on social media them posting about all the toys they got and all the clothes and all of the presents, and you're kind of left sitting there going, where's my presents? You know, it just kind of leaves you feeling really left out and kind of confused about where you fit in. Now that someone's not part of your life anymore or they passed away. I've had a few people in my life who their dad's not around by choice, something like that, and they have a lot of resentment towards that. People that just don't get along well with their dad in general, and they always are quick to say, like, I don't care about him. I basically wish he wasn't my dad. And I always feel horrible hearing stuff like that, of course, because I have a very much of a conflict of interest when it comes to that kind of thought process. I only had 20 years with my dad, and I'm turning 25 in a month and a half, August 12th. So I'm becoming an old man. It's horrifying. Going to be a quarter of a century year old, and it's crazy how fast time has gone. And it's all holidays, most holidays are based around family and gatherings and getting along and all of these things. And there's obviously people who don't have that, and of course that really sucks. Because you're always reminded, especially now with social media and stuff, more than ever before, you're always aware in life of what you're missing out on. You know, what other people have, or what you want, or what you need, but what you don't have, or you can't have. And it's always this surmountable pressure to try to push back against that and try to, not compare yourself with other people. But we all know that it's way harder to actually do than it is to say. And for me, like I said, social media is, I think, the biggest instigator for me personally, because it just always leaves you feeling like you're wanting more. You see people who go out all the time, they're always on vacations, they're always out with friends, they're out at bars, partying, whatever. And it always makes me angry at a lot of my mental disorders that really get in the way of functioning and being able to enjoy myself, to be able to go out with friends and have a good time. There's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and all of that. And, I think that really frustrates me a lot. And when I see so much of that on social media, it gets really aggravating. And it's really hard to not compare yourself to other people or what they're doing or what they're going through or what they have. But especially with holidays, I notice it's really bad for me. I didn't go on Facebook maybe for 10 seconds. Saw a Father's Day post, started crying like a fucking baby, and closed out of that shit and didn't touch it basically until about 7 or 8 o'clock the following night. So I left a large buffer of time to hopefully have people post something other than Father's Day stuff, so I wouldn't have to see that stuff. And there's actually a good video from a YouTuber. She used to be a mental health YouTuber. I don't think she's posted anything in like 2 years, which is a shame because she had a lot of really good content and I really liked her. And she wasn't a professional or anything like that. She was like me, just a patient basically, and suffered with a lot of depression and anxiety, self-harm, stuff like that. I'll put a link to her channel up here in the cards for the specific video I'm going to mention, and I'll link her channel in the description. Like I said, I don't think she's posted in a year or two. I think she was getting married and probably forgot. I got wrapped up in life. So hopefully she comes back one day. That would be really cool to see on my subscription feed that a video from like Kristen. That would be really cool. But people move on, so it kind of is what it is. But anyway, this video I'm referencing from her channel that I'll put up here, it's a really good video because it's addressed to people who are fatherless on Father's Day. And I stumbled upon this video totally by accident, and I don't think it was on Father's Day, ironically. I was going through a playlist of her videos, and I guess I stumbled upon this. And it really was very impactful to me. It really helped me feel like I wasn't alone, which is something, of course, all people with depression and mental illness kind of feel at some point during their time experiencing these disorders and these symptoms. It's one of these things I think that people don't really think a lot about. I think they know internally there are other people with depression, there are other people with anxiety. Inherently, you're not by yourself. You're not the only person on the whole planet with these problems. But when it's your personal problem, when it's your personal struggle and your life experiences, it really kind of filters out other people, and not always in a great way. But it really does feel a lot like you are kind of in your own little world, in your own little brain, doing your own little thing. And it's really hard sometimes to try to connect with other people because you feel, even if they do have depression like you do or similar to you, it's never going to be exactly the same. You know, every person's manifestation is a little bit different. So trying to compare, you know, my trauma with my dad and everything that goes with a murder-suicide, is going to be very different from a person who was a sexual abuse victim as a kid growing up. You know, can that both lead to BPD and a diagnosis of that? Absolutely. But I'm never going to try to say that my experience with all of that has anything to do with or correlates to a sexual abuse victim, for example. So I really don't try to compare my disorders, how I experience them. I really don't try to project that into, well, all people must feel the way I do. You know, I have to make them understand, or assuming that they understand how it is for me. And that's why it's so important to tell people, you know, about your experiences and how they are unique to you. I really think that's really important, and that's really what I like to do with this channel. You know, I've always said I always try to make it educational. I try to make it interesting, of course. No green screen today, you know. But it's just one of these things. I just wanted to kind of sit down and film this. You know, this isn't edited or anything like that. None of my videos are really edited. But the point is, just kind of wanted to vent a little bit about the Father's Day thing. I know I'm not the only person in the world who's going through that kind of scenario. And certainly, I hope you'll check out the camera's flipped. I hope you'll check out the Like Kristen video that I'll link up top on one side or the other. But it was a really good video. It was really helpful for me. And she had a lot of great videos that are still on her channel. So I definitely recommend checking her out. She is also listed as a, what do they call it? I found it. She's actually listed under one of my featured channels right here. So all of these channels are actually ones that I am subscribed to that all directly deal with mental health. Have a lot of great videos. People like Dr. Daniel Fox, phenomenal. Does a lot of personality disorder videos. He's an expert in personality disorders. He'll tell you that himself. He's really well spoken. He really has a sense of compassion. You feel the compassion, like through the screen, through the monitor, through your phone, whatever you're watching on. And it's really, really interesting. Let's see, who else? Just give a shout out to all of them. Polar Warriors, Rob Whitaker, phenomenal channel on bipolar. Really laid back personality. He's funny, he's witty, but he has a great message of hope for all people suffering with bipolar, that we are polar warriors. Let's see, Katie Morton does phenomenal videos. She has years of videos on all sorts of mental topics, and she's been doing a lot of Ask Katie Anything videos, live stream videos, or podcasts and things you can watch on YouTube. She does that each week. So definitely recommend that as well. She answers a lot of really good questions. It's really fun to listen to. Like Kristen, like I said, a lot of good videos, but hasn't posted in a year or two. Dr. Tracy Marks, she's a psychiatrist, actually. Not a psychologist, but an actual psychiatrist. She has a lot of really good videos. She's done a few live stream question and answers as well. And of course, the man, Dr. Todd Grande. Phenomenal true crime videos. He's been doing a lot of them recently in his free time, which is always fun to listen to. And also has many years of really analysis and educational and research-based videos and topics, and certainly very interesting. So that's just kind of a quick rundown of kind of some of the suggested channels on my page that I subscribe to for many years, and I really enjoy their videos and their content. So definitely consider checking them out. If you're looking for some, that's where they're at. And that's basically all I wanted to say for right now. I know my video is running at 15 minutes, but that's probably about some of the shortest videos I've ever done on this channel. But, you know, I just really wanted to do a video. I know it's been a long time. I kind of did the live stream thing. I testing that out. But here's a real actual video. Hopefully you found it interesting, helpful. And certainly if you have any experience with Father's Days and stress and anxiety and depression around that, I'd definitely love to hear about it in the comments. And, well, I think the next video, the next video might be about a certain TV, a Netflix series called 13 Reasons Why. Everyone's heard of it by now. I'm on the second half of the final episode of the whole season 4 of the whole show. And it's phenomenal. So I'll definitely be giving some thoughts about the show, whether or not I think the controversy on the things that it shows in great detail and depicts, whether or not that should be shown as it was, or if they went a little bit too far. But you'll have to wait for that video to find out. So as always, thanks for watching. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Check out my previous videos. I've done a lot of research and educational videos on a variety of mental health topics. So hopefully you find that interesting. And until next time, I'll see you later on Mental Health Topics with Matt.